Hello and welcome back to another Warcraft video, and today we're going to be going over the Shadowlands pre-patch changes for Shamans, starting with the general changes affecting all classes, then Elementals, Enhancement, which has a lot, and Restoration finally. So, without further ado, time's on the screen, and here we go. General changes affecting all classes include the following. You have a new passive ability which is Improved Reincarnation. Reincarnation now revives you with an additional 20% health. All Shamans will now have the following new abilities. New ability completely, which is Flame Tongue Weapon, which imbues your weapon with fire for 1 hour, causing each attack to deal fire damage. Chain Heal, which will heal a friendly target and then jump to 2 of the nearest most injured allies, restoring health, but that is reduced by 30% for each jump. Healing Stream Totem summons a totem at your feet, which will heal injured party or raid members within 40 yards every 2 seconds. You have Lightning Shield, which will surround yourself with a shield of lightning for 30 minutes. And attackers have a 100% chance of suffering nature damage, but you're only allowed to use 1 elemental shield at a time. Chain Lightning hails a lightning bolt at an enemy dealing nature damage, and then jumping to the next available enemy. 3 total targets max. Flame Shock, which will hit for fire damage and additional fire damage every time for 18 seconds. Frost Shock, which will chill the enemy for frost damage and reduce movement speed by 50% for 6 seconds. And then a PvP change is that Sky Fury Totem, Grounding Totem and Can Strike Token can now have 50% health, was 5, and any damage taken automatically kills that totem. Now on to Elemental Shamans. So a new ability is that Spirit Walker's Grace, which will pull upon the guidance of the spirits for 50 seconds, permitting movement while casting abilities. Castable while casting. Flame Shock now has an 18-second duration instead of 24. Lightning Shield generates 5 Maelstrom for the Shaman when attacked. Lava Surge proc, chance reduced to 10% instead of 15. Ancestral Guidance, which is a talent, is no longer on the global cooldown. And a few new talents with, of course, some changes to existing ones. So a new talent is Echoing Shock, which will replace Call of Thunder, which will shock for elemental damage and create an ancestral echo, causing your next direct damage or healing spell to be cast a second time 1 second later for absolutely free. Another new talent, which is Static Discharge, which will discharge the excess energy from your lightning shield, dealing nature damage to enemies within 40 yards every 5 seconds, every 0.5 seconds for 3 seconds. Targets with your Flame Shock on them are preferred over others. Elemental Blast now increases your critical strike, hast or mastery by 3% instead of stat ratings and generates 30 Maelstrom. Elemental Blast Overload generates 15 Maelstrom. Totem Mastery has been removed, can't use it anymore. Ascendance now fires a Lava Blast at all your Flame Shock targets, refreshes the Flame Shock durations up to 18 seconds upon activation. Primal Elementalists, Primal Fire Elementals, Meteor now capped to 8 targets. And Primal Elementalists, Primal Storm Elementals, Eye of the Storm, now capped at 6 targets per pulse. Wow, that was a tongue twister. Okay, now for Enhancement Shamans. Maelstrom Resource and Maelstrom Bar have been removed. The new ability Wind Fury Weapon, which will replace the Wind Fury passive, will imbue your main hand weapon with the element of wind for 30 minutes, giving each attack 25% chance to trigger 2 extra attacks, which will deal physical damage. Wind Fury Totem, which will summon the totem for 5 health at your feet for 2 minutes, and within 30 yards of this you'll have a 10% chance that your auto attack swings for an extra hit. Maelstrom weapons have been redesigned, so when you do damage from a melee weapon, you have a chance to gain Maelstrom weapons, stacking up to 10 times. Each stack of Maelstrom weapon reduces the casting of your next damage or healing spell by 20%, and increases damage or healing of your next spell by 20%, stacking up to a maximum of 5 times. Fell Spirit now generates 1 stack of Maelstrom weapon immediately, and 1 stack every 3 seconds for 15. Lightning Shield has the additional effect of dealing damage, and you have a 50% chance to generate a stack of Maelstrom weapon. Chain Lightning has the additional effect of hitting more than 1 target, and for each hit by your Chain Lightning increases the damage of your next Crash Lightning by 20%. Stumbling no longer causes your Storm Strike to trigger no cooldown, but will still have a 5% chance to reset the remaining cooldown with Storm Strike. Lava Lash damage has been reduced by 50% and now has a 12-second cooldown, and has an additional effect which increases damage by 100% if your half-hand weapon is imbued with Flame Tongue Weapon. Frostband has been replaced with Frost Shock. Frost Shock shares the cooldown with Flame Shock. Frost Shock and Flame Shock now have their cooldowns shortened by haste. Flame Tongue has been replaced with Flame Tongue Weapon. Rock Biter has been removed from the game, you can't use it anymore. Crash Lightning now deals reduced damage against additional targets. And moving on to the talents now, they have quite a few new ones coming in. First one being Lashing Flames, which will replace Boulder Fist. Lava Lash now increases the damage of Flame Shock on its targets by 100% for 12 seconds. Storm Fury, which will replace Landslide, which has a 25% chance to strike the target a second time for 40% damage. Another new talent, Ice Strike, which will replace Totem Mastery, which will strike the target for frost damage, snarling them by 50% for 6 seconds, and Ice Strike will also reset the cooldown of your Flame and Frost Shock spells. Elemental Assault, which is a new passive, which will replace Overcharge, which will make it so your Storm Strike damage is increased by 15% and generates 1 extra stack of Maelstrom. Fire Nova will replace Searing Assault, which will erupt with a blast of fire damage affecting all targets who have been hit by Flame Shock, and dealing fire damage on up to 6 targets within 8 yards of those targets. The final new talent is Stormkeeper, which will replace Fury of Air. Charge yourself with lightning, causing your next 2 lightning bolts or chain lightning to deal 160% more damage and be an instant cast. Hot Hands now causes melee auto attacks with Flame Tongue weapons to have 5% reduced the cooldown of Lava Lash by 75% and increase the damage of Lava Lash by 100% for 8 seconds. Elemental Blast now increases your critical strike, haste or mastery by 3% instead of stat ratings. Forceful Winds Wind Fury bonus damage is 50% instead of 80%. Hailstorm has been redesigned so each stack of Maelstrom weapon consumed increases the damage of your next Frost Shock by 35%, causing your next Frost Shock to hit one additional target per Maelstrom stack used. Sundering no longer has a Maelstrom cost and has a 6% mana cost. And Ascendance now causes you to explode with nature damage upon activation, dealing damage to all enemies within 8 yards. And finally we have Restoration, which has a few new abilities, which the first one being Water Shield, which will surround you with globs of water, granting 50 mana per 5 seconds. When a melee target hits the caster regains 2% of their mana. This effect can only occur once every few seconds, only one elemental shield can be used at a time. And then another new totem, which is Mana Tide Totem, which summons the totem at your feet for 8 seconds, guaranteeing 100% increase in mana regeneration to everybody within 10 yards. Earth Shield is no longer a talent and learned at level 22. Riptide duration is now 18 seconds instead of 15. Flame Shock has an 18 second duration instead of 21. Lava Surge proc chance is now 10% instead of 15. And we have one new talent, which is Surge of Earth, which will replace Earth Shield, which consumes up to 3 charges of Earth Shield to heal up to 3 allies near your Earth Shield target per charge consumed. Torrent now also increases your initial heal from Riptide by 20% instead of 30%. Okay, so if you enjoyed, don't forget to push the like button, leave a comment down below, of course subscribe if you're new to the channel, wish for my Twitter link down below as always. Last one to say thank you so much for watching. I've been X-Killer X and I'll see you in the next Warcraft video. Thanks for watching.